Welcome to World Revolution. Dear friends, today we will share a summary from the book The Ideal Team Player, How to Recognize and Cultivate the Three Essential Virtues by Patrick Lencioni. The Ideal Team Player explores the qualities essential for effective teamwork within an organization, focusing on three key virtues individuals should possess to contribute positively to a team dynamic. Brief summary. Lencioni introduces three core virtues: humble, hungry, and smart. He argues that the ideal team player embodies a balance of these three qualities, creating a cohesive and productive team environment. 1. Humble. The humble team player is self-aware, placing the team's interests above personal recognition. They exhibit modesty, admit mistakes, and value the contributions of others. 2. Hungry. Team members who are hungry possess a strong work ethic and drive to contribute. They are proactive, ambitious, and constantly seek opportunities to improve and contribute more to the team's success. 3. Smart. In this context, being smart refers to people skills or interpersonal intelligence. A smart team player is relationally astute, possessing good judgment, empathy, and understanding of group dynamics. Throughout the book, Lencioni explains the significance of each virtue and how lacking even one can disrupt teamwork. He offers practical guidance on how to identify and hire individuals who embody these virtues and provides strategies for developing these virtues in existing team members. Moreover, Lencioni uses storytelling and real-life examples to illustrate the impact of these virtues on team dynamics, decision-making, and overall organizational success. He emphasizes the importance of creating a culture that values these virtues, fostering an environment where individuals can thrive and collaborate effectively. The ideal team player serves as a valuable resource for leaders, managers, and team members seeking to build cohesive and high-performing teams. It offers actionable insights and practical advice for identifying, hiring, and developing individuals who exhibit the essential virtues necessary for creating and sustaining successful teams within any organization. Introduction. In The Ideal Team Player, Patrick Lencioni explores a simple yet profound concept: the qualities that make someone an ideal team member. The book revolves around a fictional story, which serves as a vehicle for introducing the core ideas. Through the story, Lencioni illustrates how critical teamwork is to any organization, and how finding individuals with the right blend of traits can make or break a team. The book primarily highlights three virtues that Lencioni argues are essential for an ideal team player: humility, hunger, and people smarts. The combination of these three virtues not only makes someone more effective in a team setting, but also promotes collaboration, accountability, and trust, which are all key to the success of a team and an organization as a whole. 1. Humility is the foundation of the ideal team player. Lencioni emphasizes that truly humble individuals do not seek personal recognition or attention, but instead prioritize the success of the team. They value the contributions of others and are willing to admit their own shortcomings. Humility in a team context helps foster mutual respect and ensures that ego doesn't get in the way of collective success. 2. Hunger refers to a person's internal drive and passion for work. Hungry team players are self-motivated, constantly looking for ways to contribute more and improve themselves. They take initiative and are always willing to go the extra mile. Lencioni argues that hunger is one of the most difficult virtues to cultivate because it stems from a person's intrinsic motivation. It pushes teams forward, as hungry individuals are less likely to settle for mediocrity. 3. People smarts relates to emotional intelligence and interpersonal skills. It's the ability to interact effectively with others, understand their emotions, and manage relationships in a positive way. People-smart individuals are good at reading the room, recognizing team dynamics, and handling conflicts with tact. They understand the impact of their words and actions on others, which helps to avoid unnecessary friction and misunderstandings. Lencioni stresses that these three virtues work best when they are present together in a single individual. A person who has just one or two of the virtues may struggle in a team environment. For instance, someone who is humble and hungry but lacks people smarts might unintentionally offend others or fail to communicate effectively, causing tension within the team. Conversely, someone who is people smart and humble but lacks hunger might be pleasant to work with but won't push the team forward with the necessary drive and energy. In the fictional story that underpins the book, a struggling company looks to revamp its hiring practices by finding and cultivating these ideal team players. The narrative approach makes the book's lessons practical and relatable, offering both managers and employees tangible examples of how the three virtues play out in real-world situations. Ultimately, the ideal team player is a guide for organizations and individuals seeking to build strong, cohesive teams. Lencioni presents the three virtues as the key criteria for identifying and developing team members who will not only contribute to the team's success but will also foster an environment where collaboration thrives. This combination of traits ensures that teams are not just functionally effective but also harmonious and driven toward common goals. Chapter 1: Humility. Patrick Lencioni identifies humility as the most essential and foundational virtue for being a strong team player. Humility is more than just modesty or downplaying one's own accomplishments, it's a deeper commitment to placing the team's success above personal recognition. Lencioni presents humility as a quality that allows individuals to step out of the spotlight, appreciate the contributions of others, and acknowledge their own limitations, fostering an atmosphere of mutual respect and collaboration. At its core, humility in a team context is about prioritizing collective achievement over personal gain. Humble team players do not crave attention or the need to be constantly praised for their contributions. Instead, they're comfortable with others succeeding and recognize that their success is part of the team's overall progress. They understand that their contributions are just one piece of a larger puzzle, and they are quick to give credit to others where it's due. This creates an environment where team members feel appreciated and valued, leading to increased trust and collaboration. Lencioni's portrayal of humility is also about self-awareness. Humble individuals can assess their own strengths and weaknesses without arrogance or insecurity. They are open to feedback and willing to admit when they make mistakes, viewing these moments as opportunities to learn and grow. In contrast, those who lack humility may become defensive when challenged or resist feedback, which can create friction within a team. A humble team player, however, embraces the idea that personal growth often comes from acknowledging mistakes and being open to other perspectives. Importantly, humility is not about a lack of confidence or underestimating one's own value. Lencioni clarifies that humble people can and should take pride in their work, but they do so in a way that is centered on the success of the group rather than personal accolades. They seek to serve the team rather than be served by it. This service-minded approach leads to a greater sense of accountability, as humble individuals are more willing to step in and help others, even if the task falls outside their immediate responsibilities. They view team success as their own success. In the fictional story Lencioni tells, characters who embody humility tend to build stronger relationships with their peers because their actions are based on trust and authenticity. When team members know that someone is humble, they are more likely to feel secure working with them, knowing there are no hidden agendas or personal ambitions that might jeopardize the team's goals. This lack of ego-driven behavior enables smoother collaboration, reduces unnecessary competition, and ultimately makes the team more effective. On the flip side, the absence of humility can be deeply damaging to a team. A person who is focused on their own status or who constantly seeks validation can create rifts among team members, undermining trust and cohesion. Lencioni warns that arrogance, entitlement, and self-importance are toxic traits in a team setting because they shift the focus from collective outcomes to individual needs. When this happens, collaboration breaks down, and team dynamics suffer. Lencioni's message is clear: humility is the linchpin of effective teamwork. While hunger and people smarts are important virtues, without humility, a team player can disrupt team dynamics by allowing personal ambitions or insecurities to overshadow the group's goals. Humility creates the conditions for openness, trust, and shared accountability, ensuring that the team can work together harmoniously and focus on what truly matters, achieving success as a unit. In essence, humility is the glue that holds teams together. It promotes a culture where people feel safe to contribute, make mistakes, and grow. In the ideal team player, humility is not simply about being nice or quiet, It's about actively making choices that elevate the team above oneself, ensuring that everyone has the space and respect to thrive. Example: Sarah's journey to humility. Sarah is a talented marketing manager at a tech company. She is known for her creativity and drive, but she often struggles with taking credit for her team's successes and dismissing their contributions. Her colleagues find her difficult to work with, and team morale is low. One day, Sarah's boss introduces her to Lencioni's book, The Ideal Team Player. As she reads about the importance of humility, Sarah realizes that her ego has been a barrier to effective teamwork. She decides to make a change and focus on becoming a more humble team player. Recognizing strengths and limitations. Sarah starts by reflecting on her strengths and limitations. She acknowledges her creative skills but also recognizes areas where she needs improvement, such as listening to others and giving credit where it's due. This self-awareness is the first step towards embracing humility. Openness to feedback. Sarah makes a conscious effort to be more open to feedback. She encourages her team to share their thoughts and ideas, and she listens attentively without interrupting. When her team members point out areas for improvement, Sarah takes their feedback seriously and works on addressing it. Sharing successes. One of the key aspects of humility is sharing successes with the team. Sarah starts to publicly acknowledge her team's contributions during meetings and presentations. She makes sure to highlight the efforts of each team member, giving them the recognition they deserve. Putting the team first. Sarah shifts her focus from personal achievements to the team's goals. She prioritizes the team's needs over her own ego and makes decisions that benefit the group as a whole. This change in mindset helps to build trust and collaboration within the team. Positive impact. Over time, Sarah's efforts to improve her humility have a positive impact on the team. Morale improves, and team members feel more valued and motivated. The team's productivity increases, and they achieve better results together. Continuous growth. Sarah understands that humility is an ongoing journey. She continues to seek feedback, learn from her experiences, and strive to be a better team player. Her commitment to humility not only enhances her own growth but also contributes to the overall success of the team. How to improve humility. Lencioni acknowledges that while some people may naturally exhibit humility, others may need to work on developing it. The good news is that humility can be learned and strengthened with deliberate practice and self-awareness. Here are some ways Lencioni suggests for individuals to improve humility. Seek feedback regularly. One of the most effective ways to develop humility is to actively seek feedback from others. Ask colleagues, managers, and peers for honest input about how you can improve. This helps you develop self-awareness and keeps your ego in check, as you begin to understand your strengths and areas for growth from multiple perspectives. The key here is to approach feedback with an open mind and a genuine willingness to learn, rather than becoming defensive. Acknowledge your mistakes. Humility is closely tied to the ability to admit when you are wrong. Lencioni highlights that humble individuals don't feel the need to be perfect. When they make a mistake, they are quick to own up to it, apologize if necessary, and focus on correcting the issue rather than blaming others or covering it up. This practice builds credibility and fosters a sense of psychological safety within the team. Celebrate others' successes. A hallmark of humility is the ability to celebrate and recognize the achievements of others without feeling threatened. Lencioni encourages team members to actively praise and support their colleagues when they succeed, especially when those successes might overshadow one's own contributions. By doing so, you shift the focus from personal glory to team success, which strengthens relationships and trust. Practice active listening. Humble people listen more than they speak, as they understand that others' opinions and ideas are valuable. To cultivate humility, focus on developing your active listening skills. This means fully engaging in conversations, asking questions, and showing genuine interest in what others have to say. By practicing this, you show respect for others' perspectives and become more attuned to their needs, fostering stronger collaboration. Share credit generously. When the team achieves something significant, be the first to acknowledge the contributions of others. Lencioni stresses that sharing credit for success is a key trait of humility. By highlighting the role your teammates played, you build goodwill and demonstrate that you're more focused on the team's overall success than on personal recognition. Get comfortable with vulnerability. Humility often requires a willingness to be vulnerable. This means being open about areas where you need help or support. Lencioni explains that humble individuals are not afraid to admit that they don't have all the answers or that they are struggling with something. This vulnerability strengthens teams, as it encourages others to offer support and be more transparent about their own challenges. Focus on serving the team. Humility can be strengthened by adopting a mindset of service. Rather than focusing on how the team can serve your goals, look for ways you can serve the team. This might involve taking on tasks that others don't want to do, offering help without being asked, or mentoring and supporting less experienced colleagues. When your mindset shifts towards serving others, it naturally cultivates humility because your focus is no longer on personal advancement. Reflect on your motivations. Developing humility often requires introspection. Regularly ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it for personal gain or for the benefit of the team? Am I seeking recognition, or am I truly focused on helping others succeed? This kind of self-reflection helps keep ego in check and ensures that your actions are aligned with the team's goals rather than personal ambitions. In the narrative of the book, the characters who consciously work on developing humility become better team players, not just in terms of their interactions with others, but also in their overall contributions to the team's success. They learn to set aside personal agendas, embrace feedback, and engage with their peers in a more collaborative and respectful manner. Chapter 2: Hunger. Patrick Lencioni highlights hunger as one of the 3 essential virtues of an ideal team player. Hunger, as Lencioni describes it, refers to a person's innate drive, ambition, and desire to work hard. It's the virtue that fuels an individual's constant pursuit of excellence and improvement, pushing them to go above and beyond without needing external motivation. Hungry team players are self-motivated, proactive, and always looking for opportunities to contribute more, making them invaluable assets to any organization. Lencioni explains that hunger is the trait that separates those who simply do the minimum required from those who consistently push for better results. Hungry individuals are never satisfied with mediocrity. They are always eager to do more, learn more, and achieve more. In a team setting, this trait ensures that progress is continuous, as hungry team members will seek out challenges and take the initiative to solve problems. They don't wait to be told what to do or shy away from extra responsibilities. Instead, they actively look for ways to make an impact. What sets hunger apart from mere hard work is the deep-rooted sense of passion and purpose that comes with it. Hungry team players don't work hard just because they have to, but because they genuinely want to. Their motivation comes from within, driven by a sense of pride in their work and a desire to contribute to something larger than themselves. This internal fire leads them to put in extra effort, often working longer hours or taking on additional tasks without needing to be asked. Lencioni stresses that hunger is one of the hardest virtues to teach. While skills and knowledge can be developed over time, hunger is largely intrinsic. It's either present in someone or it's not. This makes it a particularly valuable trait in a team player because individuals who possess it require less oversight and management. They are the type of people who, when given a task, will not only complete it but also seek ways to improve upon it or identify new areas where they can contribute. However, Lencioni also offers a cautionary note about hunger in isolation. While hunger is crucial, it needs to be balanced with humility and people smarts. A person who is hungry but lacks humility might pursue their own goals at the expense of the team's success. They could become overly competitive, seeking personal recognition and achievement rather than focusing on the collective good. Similarly, someone who is hungry but lacks people smarts might bulldoze through team interactions, unintentionally alienating or frustrating their teammates. In the narrative that accompanies the book, Lencioni introduces characters that exemplify hunger and those who lack it. Through these examples, he demonstrates how hunger can transform a team's performance. Hungry team players are the ones who volunteer for difficult tasks, push through challenges, and inspire others to raise their standards. They set the pace for the rest of the team, often becoming informal leaders through their relentless pursuit of excellence. Their energy and drive can be contagious, motivating the entire team to aim higher and work harder. In contrast, individuals who lack hunger may struggle to keep up with the demands of the team. They might do what is asked of them but will rarely go beyond that. While they might be pleasant or easy to work with, their lack of drive can slow down the team's momentum, especially in fast-paced or demanding environments. Teams with too many members lacking hunger may stagnate, as there is little impetus to improve or innovate. Hunger also plays a crucial role in accountability. Hungry team players hold themselves accountable for their performance. They don't make excuses when things go wrong or blame others for failures. Instead, they take responsibility for their part in the team's results and work to find solutions. This level of accountability is essential in high-performing teams, as it ensures that everyone is focused on the same goals and willing to put in the effort needed to achieve them. Ultimately, Lencioni argues that hunger is what drives success in both individuals and teams. It is the relentless, unyielding desire to contribute more, learn more, and achieve more. While humility and people smarts are equally important, hunger is what propels a team forward. It ensures that work gets done, progress is made, and the team never settles for less than its best. Hunger is the driving force behind personal and team growth in the ideal team player. It's the quality that pushes individuals to take initiative, embrace challenges, and consistently aim for excellence. For Lencioni, the best team players are those who possess this insatiable appetite for achievement, as they are the ones who will fuel a team's success and propel it toward its goals. The example of hunger. One of the most powerful examples of hunger in the book is a character who consistently goes above and beyond the expectations of his role. This character not only completes his tasks efficiently but also anticipates problems and proactively finds solutions without waiting for instructions. For instance, when the team is preparing for a major project, this individual volunteers to take on additional responsibilities, including tasks outside of his direct expertise. He stays late, asks probing questions, and is constantly looking for ways to make the team's work more effective. His hunger is demonstrated not by a desire for personal recognition, but by an internal drive to see the team and the project succeed. When others slow down or feel they have done enough, this character continues to push forward, identifying new ways to improve processes, ensuring deadlines are met, and even helping other team members with their tasks. He doesn't wait for problems to arise. Instead, he actively seeks out areas where the team might face challenges and works to address them ahead of time. His hunger is evident in his ability to remain focused and engaged, even during long or difficult projects, where others might begin to feel fatigued. What's particularly striking about this example is that the individual's hunger is not rooted in ambition for personal advancement. While he is undoubtedly talented and could easily climb the organizational ladder, his motivation is purely about contributing to the team's success. He doesn't need constant praise or rewards. His satisfaction comes from knowing that he has given his best effort. This is the essence of hunger, the desire to achieve for the sake of the work itself, not for personal accolades. Lencioni contrasts this with examples of team members who lack hunger. These individuals do what is asked of them but rarely take initiative beyond their assigned tasks. In one instance, a team member completes his work competently but is quick to leave once the day ends, showing little interest in going the extra mile or helping others who are struggling. While this person is not lazy or incompetent, the absence of hunger becomes evident in his reluctance to step out of his comfort zone or take on additional responsibilities. This lack of hunger doesn't just slow down his own development, it also limits the overall potential of the team. How hunger impacts teams. The impact of hunger on team dynamics is profound. A hungry team member sets a high standard for the rest of the team, often inspiring others to step up their own efforts. The example of the character who exhibits hunger shows how one individual's drive can elevate the performance of an entire team. His relentless pursuit of excellence creates an atmosphere where mediocrity is unacceptable, and this pushes his teammates to push their own boundaries. Lencioni emphasizes that hunger is particularly crucial in high-performing teams because it ensures continuous progress. teams that are made up of hungry individuals are less likely to stagnate or become complacent. Even after achieving major successes, these teams are always asking, "What's next?" They are not content with resting on their laurels but are constantly looking for new challenges to tackle. However, hunger must be balanced with the other virtues, humility and people smarts. Lencioni warns that an individual with extreme hunger but lacking in humility or people smarts can become a liability. For instance, a person who is excessively hungry but lacks humility might prioritize personal achievement over the team's success, leading to conflict or unhealthy competition. Similarly, someone with hunger but no people smarts might work tirelessly but fail to collaborate effectively, alienating teammates in the process. Hunger alone is not enough, it must be tempered by a sense of humility and emotional intelligence to ensure that the drive to succeed benefits the team rather than just the individual. Improving hunger. While some people are naturally hungry, Lencioni acknowledges that hunger can be developed with conscious effort. Here are some ways individuals can cultivate a greater sense of hunger. 1. Set higher personal standards. Lencioni suggests that those who want to improve their hunger should start by raising their expectations of themselves. Rather than doing just what is required, they should push themselves to go above and beyond in every task. Setting personal goals that stretch one's abilities fosters a mindset of continual improvement and initiative. 2. Seek out additional responsibilities. One of the best ways to cultivate hunger is to volunteer for new and challenging tasks. By stepping into unfamiliar roles or taking on responsibilities outside of your job description, you develop a sense of ownership and drive. It also demonstrates to others that you are committed to the success of the team, not just your own role. 3. Stay curious and keep learning. Hungry individuals are always looking for ways to improve, and one way to do this is by continually seeking new knowledge and skills. Lencioni encourages people to actively seek learning opportunities, whether through formal education or by asking questions and learning from others within the team. 4. Adopt a mindset of continuous improvement. Hungry people don't view success as a finish line but as a stepping stone to further achievements. Lencioni suggests embracing a mindset that is focused on long-term growth, where every accomplishment serves as a foundation for the next challenge. 5. Surround yourself with other hungry individuals. Working with or seeking mentorship from those who exhibit a high level of hunger can inspire and elevate your own drive. Being around ambitious, hard-working people tends to create a culture of striving for excellence, where hunger becomes the norm rather than the exception. Lencioni's concept of hunger is more than just hard work, it is the deep, internal motivation to consistently strive for improvement and excellence. The example of the character who embodies hunger showcases how this virtue propels both individual and team success, pushing the entire group to perform at its best. Hunger sets the pace, ensures constant progress, and creates an environment where mediocrity is unacceptable. However, as Lencioni points out, hunger must be balanced with humility and people smarts. Without these, hunger can lead to self-serving behavior or burnout. For teams to truly thrive, each member must not only work hard but also be aligned with the values of collective success and collaboration. When hunger is combined with humility and emotional intelligence, it becomes a powerful force that drives teams to reach their full potential. Chapter 3: Smart. Patrick Lencioni identifies smart as one of the 3 critical virtues that define an ideal team member. However, unlike traditional notions of intelligence related to IQ or technical skill, Lencioni's concept of being smart refers to people smarts, the ability to interact effectively with others, to read social cues, and to navigate interpersonal dynamics in a way that fosters harmony and collaboration within the team. It is about emotional intelligence, empathy, and common sense when dealing with people. People-smart individuals understand how their words and actions affect those around them. They are attuned to the emotions and behaviors of others and are capable of adjusting their approach to fit the situation, maintaining healthy and productive relationships. In team settings, this awareness is critical because it helps to avoid unnecessary conflicts, smooth out communication barriers, and build trust. Lencioni argues that smart team players are adept at understanding group dynamics and knowing what to say, or not to say, at the right moments to enhance teamwork and minimize tension. the virtue of being smart is not just about being friendly or likable. It involves a deep understanding of the complexities of human interaction, such as the ability to pick up on nonverbal cues, recognize underlying emotions, and respond appropriately. Smart team players can sense when someone is frustrated, disengaged, or confused, and they have the skill to address those issues in a way that feels supportive rather than confrontational. This emotional intelligence helps build stronger bonds within the team, fostering a sense of psychological safety where members feel comfortable sharing ideas, giving feedback, and even making mistakes without fear of judgment. Lencioni emphasizes that being smart in this context is about social awareness and relationship management. It involves skills like active listening, where individuals don't just hear what others are saying but also understand the meaning behind their words. A smart team player knows how to ask insightful questions, how to encourage quieter team members to share their thoughts, and how to address concerns in a way that is constructive rather than destructive. This ability to engage in thoughtful, meaningful communication helps teams avoid misunderstandings and misinterpretations that can derail progress. People smarts also involve the skill of conflict resolution. Disagreements and tensions are inevitable in any team, but how those conflicts are managed can make the difference between a high-functioning and a dysfunctional team. A smart team player can navigate these moments with tact and diplomacy. They can mediate disputes by acknowledging each person's perspective and guiding the conversation toward resolution without exacerbating the conflict. This role is crucial for maintaining a cohesive team environment where disagreements can lead to constructive dialogue rather than division. One of the key benefits of having people-smart individuals on a team is their ability to make others feel understood and valued. These individuals naturally create an atmosphere of inclusion, where everyone's opinions and feelings are respected. This boosts morale and makes team members more likely to contribute openly. When people feel heard and respected, they are more engaged and committed to the team's goals. Smart team players, therefore, help cultivate an environment of collaboration where members work together not out of obligation, but out of mutual respect and understanding. However, Lencioni warns that being smart without the other two virtues, humility and hunger, can lead to manipulation or self-serving behavior. For instance, someone who is very smart in understanding people but lacks humility might use their emotional intelligence to manipulate or control others for personal gain. Similarly, a smart individual without hunger might be able to navigate team dynamics well but lack the drive to push the team toward excellence. This is why Lencioni stresses that all three virtues must be present together to create a truly ideal team player. In the narrative portion of the book, Lencioni illustrates how team members who possess people smarts are often the glue that holds the group together. They help mitigate misunderstandings, diffuse tensions, and encourage others to perform at their best by fostering a supportive and communicative environment. When people feel that their team members understand and care about their well-being, they are more likely to invest fully in their work and in the success of the team. Moreover, smart team players are invaluable when it comes to managing the more subtle aspects of collaboration, such as timing, tone, and body language. They know when to push a point and when to back off, when a teammate needs encouragement, and when they need space. They are adept at managing their own emotions as well, ensuring that their responses to stress or frustration don't negatively impact the team's atmosphere. This level of self-regulation and empathy is what makes them so effective in building and maintaining positive relationships within the group. The example of being smart. One of the clearest examples Lencioni uses to illustrate the concept of being smart is a character who has a natural ability to connect with teammates, anticipate how others are feeling, and adapt his communication style to fit the situation. This character is not the loudest or the most dominant voice on the team, but he is deeply attuned to the dynamics between team members. In meetings, he notices when someone feels left out of the conversation, and he skillfully brings them back in by asking thoughtful questions. He's also quick to recognize when tensions are rising and uses humor or gentle redirection to diffuse potentially uncomfortable situations. For instance, in one scenario, the team is under pressure to meet a tight deadline, and stress levels are running high. As the conversation grows more intense, some team members start talking over each other, and frustration builds. The smart team member sees this happening and steps in, not by asserting authority, but by calmly suggesting that everyone take a brief pause to gather their thoughts. He acknowledges the stress and validates everyone's hard work, but he does so in a way that brings down the tension and refocuses the group on the task at hand. His ability to read the room and know exactly when and how to intervene helps the team avoid conflict and remain productive. This individual's people smarts go beyond just reading the emotions of others. He also has an intuitive sense of how to communicate in a way that builds trust and cooperation. When delivering feedback, he frames his comments in a constructive and supportive manner. Rather than pointing out flaws or mistakes, he asks questions that lead others to reflect on their work and come to their own conclusions about how to improve. His approach not only avoids defensiveness but also encourages a growth mindset within the team. Lencioni emphasizes that this kind of people smartness doesn't mean being manipulative or superficial. The smart team member genuinely cares about his colleagues and wants to see the team succeed. His emotional intelligence, combined with his genuine concern for others, makes him a natural collaborator, someone others want to work with and trust. In contrast, Lencioni highlights examples of individuals who lack people smarts. These team members might be technically brilliant or highly driven, but they fail to connect with others on a human level. For example, one character is incredibly focused on the technical aspects of a project and consistently delivers high-quality work. However, when communicating with the team, he comes across as abrasive and dismissive of others' opinions. He frequently interrupts, fails to listen, and is oblivious to the frustration he is causing. While his technical contributions are valuable, his inability to navigate interpersonal dynamics weakens the team's cohesion and morale. Lencioni stresses that people smarts are essential for maintaining harmony and trust within a team. Even the most intelligent or hardworking individual can become a liability if they lack the social awareness to collaborate effectively. Teams rely on strong communication, empathy, and mutual respect to function at their highest level, and these qualities are fostered by individuals who are smart in the way they interact with others. How being smart impacts teams. Being people smart significantly impacts the overall dynamics and success of a team. Lencioni shows how the smart character, by understanding the emotional needs of his teammates and adjusting his approach, enhances communication and builds trust. His ability to read body language, tone, and emotions helps prevent small issues from escalating into larger conflicts. For example, when a quieter team member hesitates to share their opinion in a meeting, the people smart character picks up on this and gently prompts them to contribute. He understands that the quieter member may need a little encouragement or a signal that their input is valued. This fosters inclusivity and ensures that all voices are heard, which often leads to more innovative ideas and better decision-making. Another way that being smart impacts the team is through conflict resolution. In the book, when a disagreement arises between two strong-willed team members, the smart individual steps in to mediate. Rather than taking sides or ignoring the tension, he facilitates a constructive dialogue where both parties feel heard and understood. He asks probing questions to help clarify the core issues and encourages each person to express their concerns without becoming defensive. By managing the conversation skillfully, he helps the team reach a resolution that strengthens, rather than fractures, their relationships. Teams that have people-smart members tend to have higher morale, better communication, and fewer misunderstandings. These individuals serve as the glue that holds the team together, ensuring that collaboration happens smoothly and that everyone feels respected and valued. People who are smart in this way contribute to a positive team culture where individuals feel comfortable sharing ideas, providing feedback, and taking risks. Improving people smarts. Lencioni suggests that while some people may naturally possess people smarts, it is also a skill that can be developed with effort and awareness. Here are some ways to improve people smarts. 1. Active listening. One of the most important aspects of being people smart is listening carefully to what others are saying, not just verbally but also through their body language and tone. Lencioni advises practicing active listening by giving others your full attention, asking clarifying questions, and responding thoughtfully to their concerns. This builds trust and ensures that others feel heard. 2. Watch for nonverbal cues. People-smart individuals are highly attuned to nonverbal signals such as facial expressions, posture, and tone of voice. To improve in this area, practice paying attention to these cues in conversations. Are people uncomfortable, distracted, or engaged? Noticing these subtle indicators can help you adjust your approach in real time. 3. Practice empathy. Empathy is a core component of people smarts. To develop empathy, try to put yourself in your teammates' shoes and understand their perspectives. Lencioni emphasizes that being able to relate to the emotions and experiences of others helps you respond in a way that feels supportive and respectful. 4. Tailor your communication. Different people respond to different communication styles. People-smart individuals know how to adjust their tone, words, and approach depending on the person and the situation. For example, some people may appreciate direct feedback, while others may need more encouragement. Understanding these preferences allows you to connect with people more effectively. 5. Observe team dynamics. Pay attention to how your team interacts. Who tends to speak up? Who stays quiet? Understanding the dynamics at play can help you navigate conversations and team activities more effectively. By being mindful of these dynamics, you can contribute in ways that enhance team cohesion. Conclusion. Lencioni's conclusion ties together the lessons from the book by emphasizing the interconnectedness of these three virtues and how they shape a well-rounded, high-performing team player. He argues that while each virtue on its own is valuable, it is the combination of all three that creates an ideal team player. A person who is humble but lacks hunger may not be driven enough to push the team forward. Similarly, someone who is hungry but lacks people smarts may damage relationships and team dynamics by being too aggressive or self-centered. Finally, a person who is smart but lacks humility might be manipulative or too focused on navigating relationships for personal gain, rather than genuinely contributing to the team's success. Lencioni uses this conclusion to drive home the idea that organizations must actively seek and develop individuals who embody all three virtues. Teams are only as strong as their members, and without the right combination of humility, hunger, and people smarts, even the most technically proficient individuals can fall short of being ideal team players. Balancing the three virtues. In the conclusion, Lencioni reiterates the importance of balance between the three virtues. One of the key points he makes is that being an ideal team player requires continuous self-awareness and improvement. Even individuals who naturally excel in one or two of the virtues may need to work hard to develop the third. For instance, a person may be naturally humble and hungry, but they may struggle with people smarts. Such a person would need to deliberately focus on improving their ability to read social cues, understand the emotional states of others, and communicate in ways that build trust and connection. Conversely, Lencioni warns against the risks of relying too heavily on one virtue at the expense of the others. He provides examples of how an overemphasis on hunger without humility can lead to selfish ambition, where a person is more concerned with their own success than the team's. Similarly, being too smart without hunger can result in a person becoming a passive observer, intellectually aware of team dynamics but unwilling to put in the effort to drive results. The conclusion reminds readers that the virtues are mutually reinforcing, and to neglect one is to weaken the entire framework of effective teamwork. The role of leaders in organizations. Lencioni also emphasizes that organizations and leaders play a crucial role in fostering and sustaining these virtues within their teams. The conclusion highlights that leaders must not only hire individuals who exhibit humility, hunger, and people smarts but also actively cultivate these traits through coaching, feedback, and setting the right examples. Lencioni advocates for creating a culture that rewards these virtues and holds individuals accountable when they fall short. Leaders are responsible for identifying gaps in their team members' development and providing opportunities for growth in the areas where they are weakest. In the final section, Lencioni also discusses how organizations can use the three virtues as a lens for making critical decisions, from hiring and performance evaluations to promotions and team restructuring. He argues that focusing on these virtues simplifies complex decisions by providing a clear framework for identifying the right people. For example, rather than getting bogged down by technical qualifications or experience, leaders can prioritize hiring individuals who are strong in humility, hunger, and people smarts. This ensures that teams are built on a foundation of trust, drive, and effective communication. Reflection and practical takeaways. In his concluding thoughts, Lencioni encourages readers to reflect on their own behavior and evaluate which of the three virtues they naturally possess and which they may need to develop further. This personal reflection is an essential step for anyone who aspires to become an ideal team player. Lencioni suggests that individuals can ask themselves questions such as: do I put the team's needs ahead of my own, humility? Am I driven to constantly improve and contribute, hunger? Do I communicate and collaborate effectively with others, people smarts? For those who recognize a gap in one or more areas, Lencioni offers practical advice for improvement. He stresses that change requires intentionality and self-discipline but reassures readers that growth is always possible. The key is to embrace feedback, seek opportunities to develop the weaker virtues, and maintain an ongoing commitment to personal growth. The ideal team player as a long-term mindset. The final takeaway from Lencioni's conclusion is that being an ideal team player is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. It is a mindset that must be cultivated over time and continuously applied in all aspects of work and life. Lencioni's vision of the ideal team player goes beyond just professional settings. It is a model for how people can thrive in any collaborative endeavor, whether in families, communities, or other groups. The three virtues, humility, hunger, and people smarts, are timeless qualities that apply to any situation where people must work together toward a common goal. By embracing these virtues, individuals not only become better team members but also better leaders, collaborators, and human beings. The conclusion reinforces the idea that success in teams is not just about achieving results, it's about building strong, healthy relationships that lead to long-term success and fulfillment. In his concluding remarks, Patrick Lencioni emphasizes that the ideal team player is not simply someone with great technical skills or a strong work ethic. It is someone who consistently demonstrates humility, hunger, and people smarts in every aspect of their work. These three virtues form the foundation of any high-performing team and are essential for building trust, fostering collaboration, and achieving sustained success. Lencioni's final message is that anyone can become an ideal team player by committing to these virtues and actively working to develop them. Leaders, organizations, and individuals all have a role to play in cultivating these qualities, creating environments where teamwork can thrive. Ultimately, the ideal team player serves as a guide for building not just better teams, but better workplaces and communities, where people support one another, challenge one another, and strive together for excellence. Thank you for listening. I hope this content is useful to you. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support our team.